Welcome, dear listeners, to another chilling episode. Today, we delve into the eerie mystery of the Cursed Reservoir, a locale steeped in folklore and dark tales whispered only in hushed reverence. Nestled amidst the quiet woods of Consett, concealed by a shroud of towering pines and ancient sycamores, is an abandoned reservoir. This body of water wasn't always a silent oasis. Long before, it was a sacred burial ground, a final resting place for ancestors unknown. However, in the name of progress, our forefathers constructed a reservoir on this ground, forever disturbing the tranquility of those who slept beneath. Unsurprisingly, such disrespect did not go unanswered. The reservoir became a source of eerie occurrences, a curse that continues to linger over the land. The phenomenon seems to have an unnerving pattern. When the first frost greets the woods, and until the whisper of spring breathes life back into the land, people begin to disappear. Unsuspecting hikers, lone wanderers, even sorrowful souls seeking solace in the desolate isolation of the woods are swallowed by the reservoir's cursed vicinity. And the most eerie part, their vehicles remain, each one an abandoned testament to their sudden, unexplained disappearance. And it's not merely the vanishings that unsettle the locals. The woodland, like a grieving mourner, seems to bear the pain of loss in a rather uncanny manner. Around the cursed reservoir, trees are adorned with strange growths, burls that eerily resemble the faces of those lost to the curse. As if, in some twisted act of nature, the forest continues to remember those it could not save. Among the many spine-chilling accounts linked to the reservoir, the tale of a young woman named Alice stands out. Alice was a woman of courage, an avid motorcyclist who thrived on the thrill of the open road and the wind against her face. Her life took an unexpected turn when one cold, frosty night, her bike skidded on a patch of ice, sending her crashing through an ancient, crumbling wall near the reservoir. With a broken arm and a whirl of disorientation clouding her senses, Alice found herself helplessly stranded in the cursed woods. What transpired next is pieced together from a series of frantic, incoherent voice messages Alice managed to send that night. She spoke of peculiar creatures, specters that seemed to oscillate between corporeal and ethereal. They didn't walk as we do, but floated just above the ground. Their forms were hazy, blurred around the edges, yet their faces were distinct, bearing an unsettling resemblance to the missing souls claimed by the reservoir's curse. Hurt and helpless, Alice chose to follow them. Perhaps curiosity guided her, or maybe the promise of aid led her deeper into the woods. Her spectral guides led her to an old, dilapidated cottage concealed within the heart of the woodland. Her last voice message, chilling in its desperation, echoes in the minds of all who've heard it. They're here, the missing ones. I can see them, their eyes. They weep, but they're not alone. There's something else here, so cold. Please help. The message ended abruptly, dissolving into a haunting static. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and like the others who had disappeared, Alice became another face on the trees around the reservoir, a silent plea etched in the gnarled bark. The locals whispered her story, shared it in hushed, terrified tones. The tale of Alice became an ominous warning to those who dared to wander near the reservoir in the cold grasp of winter. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of the Cursed Reservoir, let us delve further into its dark history. The reservoir itself is a foreboding structure, a monolithic testament to man's disregard for the sacred. Its edges are lined with moss-covered stones, lending it a deceptive allure of serenity that betrays the terror it holds within. At the heart of the reservoir, there is an eerie stillness, an unnatural silence that seems to consume even the softest whispers of the wind. They say the water's surface is a mirror to the spirit realm, reflecting not the surrounding woods, but the spectral visage of a forgotten burial ground. The locals tell of a spectral procession that occurs at the stroke of midnight, as the full moon casts an ethereal glow over the reservoir. Wisps of ethereal light float above the water, flitting around like fireflies, before coalescing into spectral figures. It is a dance of the lost, a parade of souls forever tethered to this cursed land. It is said that in this spectral procession, Alice was seen. Her figure, radiant and sorrowful, led the parade, forever doomed to reenact her final journey. She, like the rest, is drawn towards the old cottage, a beacon for the lost and the damned. It is said that in this spectral procession, Alice was seen. Her figure, radiant and sorrowful, led the parade, forever doomed to reenact her final journey. She, like the rest, is drawn towards the old cottage, a beacon for the lost and the damned. The cottage, like the reservoir, shares a tainted past. It was once a quaint abode, home to the reservoir's groundskeeper. But as the curse took hold, it fell into ruin, abandoned, and left at the mercy of the elements. Now it serves as a spectral gathering place, the final destination for the ghostly figures led by Alice's spirit. And perhaps the most chilling aspect of it all is the spectral figure that awaits the procession in the cottage. It is a hulking spectre, shrouded in darkness, the embodiment of the cold that Alice spoke of in her final message. It is this entity, the locals believe, that enforces the curse, holding the souls captive in their spectral form. As the spectral figures enter the cottage, their ethereal light begins to dim until it is snuffed out, replaced by the growing darkness within. Then the procession ends, the cottage door creaks shut, and the woods return to their somber tranquility, leaving behind an eerie emptiness. And so, dear listeners, our tale grows darker and colder. The Cursed Reservoir, once a sacred resting place, now serves as a prison for lost souls. And the spectral procession, a chilling reminder of the tragic fate that befalls those who dare disrespect the sacred. Alice's tale and those of the others who have vanished are woven into the very fabric of these woods. Until we meet again for another tale, let the chilling story of the Cursed Reservoir serve as a warning. Stay safe, respect the sacred, and remember, when the first frost descends, keep away from the whispering woods and the haunted reservoir. If you should ever need to park for the night, or look to take a shortcut, remember this story. For if you see the faces in the trees, a mist flowing towards you and lights in the distance, it may be your soul that joins the darkness and become a story that is only told in the dark of night. So, thank you for listening. While you're here, why not subscribe and click that like button? We really do appreciate the time you spend with us, and we don't want you to miss out.